This week I played Resident... This week I played Resident Evil 2. So I haven't really played much this week because I've had some terrible issues with my computer, which is jittering, crashing, being a general nuisance. If you watch the end of the what was it, the Leon playthrough 2 second run, you'll notice that they started to just completely unravel, and then my entire system started to unravel, and the whole thing was just this hullabaloo. And it took me a good week to get it fixed because I just could not figure out what the problems were. In the end, I ended up swapping out the audio card and unplugging my Vive. That seems to have fixed it, for the meantime at least. Fingers crossed it's gonna stay fixed. So yeah, let's talk about Resident Evil 2. And now, I've said a lot in the live streams. If you haven't seen the live streams, I don't blame you. It was like 7 hours plus like 5 hours? It was a lot of hours, yeah? It's a pretty long game if you're playing the first and second run, and I wasn't exactly power speeding through it, although I wasn't dawdling either, so I think I was a pretty good pace, to be fair. Now, if you've kept up with this game at all, it's pretty much loved by most people who play it. There are some technical issues that people are finding, like I found some technical issues and stuff, and they seem pretty widespread from what I can gather. But I think that's down to the RE engine not really being great to run on PCs. The Asian game developers tend not to put so much of an emphasis on PC games. They like consoles because that's how they like to sell their games. I don't really know why, but it's pretty much a kind of like common theme problem going throughout all these games. So I guess it is just something we have to learn to deal with. A lot of these ports have been pretty terrible. Final Fantasy ports have been awful, awful at best. Obviously, a lot of Resident Evil ports as well have been pretty terrible as well. I'm not going to defend them on that. But the game itself, I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to do as well, even though I knew I was going to enjoy it. So that is a pleasant experience. I think for most people that played it, that are fans of Resident Evil, we'll talk about the people who like Resident Evil and why they would probably like this game. Because it sticks really true to the original source material while still managing to be modern. Obviously, it has to keep a lot of the things that were present back in the day that kind of wouldn't really get a pass these days. Like some of the plots don't really make an awful lot of sense, and they were just kind of there to facilitate the game back in the day. Like a lot of these puzzles was like, why am I running around a police station, which used to be a museum, I want to say, looking for little discs to put in a fountain to reveal a secret passageway to the car park. Do you see what I mean? Like, nowadays you'd be like, what? I mean, what, you on crack or something? But back in the day, like when they were making these games, it was all done on purpose, Like there were reasons why the game was built the way it was, and it worked. And I personally think it worked today as well. But then again, I can understand why some people might not think it does. And like I say, like sticking true to like the original source material, while still maintaining like a modern appearance. And the new character models, I think, look great, I think they're still recognizable as their characters, but still kind of, they look young, they look kind of inexperienced. I don't know, I just think they did a really good job. Although, I will say, some of those facial expressions are pretty damn goofy. Not that I'm complaining, I think it's brilliant, but it's a little bit immersion breaking when you're laughing at Claire's goofy smile or Leon like smirking when there's like 20 zombies standing behind him, and you gotta just distance yourself from that situation. Like, dude, come on, there's like 20 dead people behind you, stop smirking. But I don't know, man, it kind of is very Resident Evil, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. So for most people, the campaign, the first one is about 6 to 8 hours. Some people stop at the first campaign because they see second run, and I think a lot of people are preconditioned to think the second run is just going to be like the first run, but with like a few kind of like extra weapons or like health benefits or perks that you've picked up throughout on stuff. Whereas this one's kind of different because it is a different story from the different perspective. And personally, I think it's almost like playing a different game entirely. I don't know, I'd appreciate that some people might not feel that way, but I do. And you might want to just skip through some of my live streams to kind of see maybe the differences and stuff. but it was a very different experience for me, and there were whole new areas like kind of opened up as well, you know, like the gun shop, it's a Kendo gun shop where you have that little scene and you're going through the sewers as well, and there was even like an extra boss you have to fight. And like Mr. X, kind of like his fatality was like displaced and everything was kind of different, and like you kind of know where you're going but also kind of don't, because there are so many things changed. The puzzles are changed up, and like even the way you have to navigate throughout the game, like on the first game you have to systematically kind of expand out into the you know, the police station, and the second playthrough, when you're going through, you enter in through a very specific angle, and you have a very specific area opened up to you. But so much of the game is, or the level, you know, the environment, we'll call them levels, because let's say for argument's sake the police station was like level 1, and you get like the underground was like level 2, then we got like the sewers is level 3, then the nest is like level 4, if we can call it like 4 different distinct environments. So yeah, getting back on track here a little bit. So yeah, then you don't have the keys or any ways to kind of access a lot of the areas, so you have to think outside the box. Okay, well, how did I do it with this one? Okay, I use this puzzle, but this puzzle isn't accessible to me, so I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to get through there. Okay, well, there's another copy of this key in this other environment. Let's go see if you can find that. And then also, you know, there's the matter of the enemies joining in the game, like smashing windows. It's all like, for me, I don't know, personally, it was like playing a completely different game, and I really appreciated that. And I enjoyed the second run just as much as I enjoyed the first run, and it didn't feel to me like I was repeating anything. So for that sake, I will say I got 12 hours worth of gameplay out of this, and 12 hours may not seem significant to much, but it was 12 hours of like enjoyment, like pure playthrough. It wasn't kind of like, I don't know, with Call of Duty, 10 hours of lobbies and 20 hours of shoot people online and this, that, and the other. No, for me it was 12 hours of solid gameplay, enjoy it from start to finish, and I even want to go back in and play my second playthrough. I'm going to do, well, yeah, my second playthrough of playthrough 1. Why not? If it makes sense. So I would start with Leon, then move on to Claire, and there's even the Force Survivor with Hunk, and then if you complete that, I believe you get to do it as Tofu. The famous Tofu with a knife. So I don't know, I mean, like, very kind of true to the original, a lot of the same things mixed up, very different. It's good, I'd look it. I mean, like, if you like Resident Evil, you're a fan of Resident Evil, I would definitely say try it, because you'll probably like it. There's like a 95% chance that you're gonna enjoy this game if you're a fan of Resident Evil, because I think they've done the fans a real decent service here. If you're a fan of just horror games in general, you're probably going to enjoy it. It's just good, you know, all around, as long as there are no technical issues and stuff like that. I'd say download the demo first, and if you're having problems running the demo, probably wait a little bit before you buy in the game until they get like a patch out, try and resolve some of these issues. Who knows? But if you're not a fan of horror games, you're not really a fan of this kind of genre, then maybe give it a skip, you know, or I don't know, like I say, try the demo. If the demo rings true to you, and it is a pretty good demo as well. I don't know if the one shot's still available. I assume it is, because it would be a bit silly if it wasn't. A bit of a large demo, but I think you get like the first half an hour of the game, and I think that's more than enough time to make up your mind. So get to it, guys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more of this game. I fixed my PC issues now, so I think I'm going to sit down. I mean, you're probably seeing footage of me doing a recording anyway. Sit down, play through it. I'm going to start Leon's. I've got his noir outfit, so that's pretty cool. We're gonna rock that down, and yeah, I'm just excited to get started. And like, that's very strange. Like, I've been kind of let down a lot lately by these AAA games, but I think Capcom has consistently pulled it out of the bag for me personally. Like, the last game, Resident Evil game that they made that I didn't enjoy playing was Veronica X. And that was a long time ago, and I bet if I went back and played it now, I'd probably enjoy it, you know? I mean, back in the day, I couldn't get over some of the character design. It was just too much for me. Well, I like corniness as much as the next person, but Jesus Christ, that was bad. Oh, getting a bit off topic here, I know, but thanks for watching. I'm gonna try and do more of these this week. I played more regularly, but I appreciate that it's been quite difficult, so I haven't been pushing out a lot of content, especially with PC problems, and before that I was very ill. I mean, I'm still not great, to be honest with you, but you gotta push on, haven't you? So yeah, I'm going to try and get these out like every week, even if I don't upload anything else throughout the week. I don't have any kind of like plans to do any recordings or anything for the moment. I'm happy just kind of doing the occasional live stream. I think, I don't know, I'm going to try and like live stream at least a couple of times a week, right? So I'm probably going to live stream tonight if I can. Maybe not tonight, I don't know. But anyway, I am rambling. I appreciate you holding on. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hit like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you next week. Ciao.